New module for the InstalSystem 5 package, Mechanical Ventilation for Residential Buildings, supports the design of mechanical ventilation installations, using systems based on ready-made sets of elements dedicated to residential buildings. Due to the first publication and the lack of complete functionality originally planned for the 27.0 release, the module has a beta note, but it can already be successfully used to implement real projects. The basic elements that can be used in the installation design are rigid ventilation ducts, flexible ventilation ducts, vertical ventilation duct, recuperator, ventilation manifolds, air intake, air exhaust, air diffusers and extractors, ceiling, wall and floor. The ventilation system schema is created on the plan views, after previously loading the underlay, from DWG, DXF, PDF, JPG, etc., and completing the general data. Or after loading the architectural model of the building from the IFC file. The latter option requires the availability of the IFC beam base import module in the package. During the creation of the installation scheme and on the plan views, a 3D model of the installation is created at the same time, which can be verified and corrected in the dedicated 3D view window. The calculation results can be analyzed directly on the drawings and in the 3D model. And in detailed result tables. Example features of the module. Calculation of required ventilation air flows in air supply, air exhaust vents based on two alternative methods, minimum air exchange rate or supply air and exhaust airflow values. Determination of ventilation air flows in ducts, manifolds, recuperators, air intakes and exhausts. Determination of air temperature in ducts to determine air parameters, density and viscosity, used in the calculation of pressure losses. Diagnostics of exceeding the maximum airflow velocity in ducts, air inlets, air exhausts, air diffusers and extractors. Diagnostics of obtaining the required minimum amount of fresh air per resident. Calculations of linear pressure losses in rigid and flexible ducts. Calculations of local pressure losses in manifolds, air diffusers, air extractors, air intakes and air exhausts. Determination of the required flow and pressure in the installation for manual selection of a recuperator or ventilation unit with the appropriate fan parameters from the offer of the selected manufacturer. Due to the lack of fittings on the duct connections in the 27.0 release, to the total pressure loss determined by the program, approximate local pressure losses on the fittings should be added. Automatic creation of a bill of materials. More information about the new mechanical ventilation for residential buildings module can be found on our website www.instalsoft.com, on our help system platform, and soon on our InstalSoft Global YouTube channel. New improved algorithm for generating schematic views eliminates many errors and problems that have occurred so far during this operation. Thanks to this, for most design cases, it is possible to obtain schematic view of much better quality. Alternatively, if the effect is unsatisfactory, you can return to the old method by selecting the starting point, expanding the advanced settings and unchecking the checkbox installation behind riser altogether. By default, separate worksheets with schematic views are created for each starting point. In the data table of the starting point element, the option of changing the default worksheet on which the schematic view is to be generated has been added. Thanks to this, it is possible to put on one worksheet the schematic views of the installation prepared with the use of multiple starting points. Schematic views arranged in this way can be printed directly in the program without the need to export to external programs in order to arrange subsequent schematic views fragments next to each other. The program has been equipped with the option of group deleting empty building units. After selecting all units that do not contain rooms, they can be deleted using delete icon available in the edit gallery or delete button on the keyboard. Thanks to this, organizing the building structure, especially in the case of large and complex objects, is much faster. In the blue status bar at the bottom of the screen, MIRO mode has been added, which allows you to enable or disable the display of an additional window that appears when copying elements with mirroring and rotation of copied elements. The ability to disable the appearance of the window when it is unnecessary during the standard copy-paste operation speeds up project editing. In case of need to insert the same sets of fittings into many pipe runs, for example a heat meter or water meter set, it is beneficial to create and save modules with fittings for multiple use. It is recommended to create a module on a new pipe run, paying attention to whether the fittings are at the beginning or end of the pipe run, because it will be inserted in the same way later using the Insert to All Selected Components function. The created module should be added to your own gallery of elements on the ribbon via the Program Settings window. Inserting a module with fittings is possible on the plan view or in the 3D model, and the insertion point can be indicated with the mouse or selected automatically. The latter method was shown in the video. Starting with release 27.0, it is possible to change the color of imported IFC models. Each model element received a color field in the data table window. Objects can be colored in groups and restored to their original state by clicking on the computer icon. In order to identify which element has been colored, a symbol is visible next to the given element in the project browser. This function is very helpful in better coordination, analysis of models, and helps in controlling the project in which IFC models have been loaded. Until now, the IFC Beam Sewage System Export module allowed the export of elements of a domestic wastewater gravity system designed in InstalSystem 5. Since release 27.0, it also allows the export of elements of a designed rainwater gravity system to the IFC 4 format. IFC Beam Ventilation System Export is a new module that allows you to export ventilation system elements designed using the new InstalSystem 5 package module Mechanical Ventilation for Residential Buildings to an IFC 4 file. Licenses opened for BIM modules for sewage and ventilation system export have appropriate element trees in the element layers drop-down field in the IFC file export window.